Hey there, everyone. Okay, now there's my optimism out
Rise
of the way.
and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a
Can I
rest,
skip this?
and all the effort
No, of course
in
I
the
can't.
world would have gone to waste until,
Gotta show people them 8 polygons!
let's just say your hour has
2003
come
facial
again.
animations, yeah! Although, to be honest, they are still pretty impressive even today.
The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
Oh boy, that's edgy.
So wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
Rolling blunts, burning ashes. Okay, so I'm using a controller for this. I actually did not plan to record anything.
I didn't see you get on.
I didn't see you get on either. I actually didn't plan to record anything because months ago, when I tried recording stuff, it completely failed because life is miserable. But for some reason, OBS works
Well.
now.
End of the line.
Well, aren't you very observant? Yeah, OBS works now for some reason after I reinstalled it. And my headset is perfectly fine now. How does that work? I don't know.
I thought so much of City
It's
17 that
been a
I
minute since I played this game.
My
It's all I have
administration
left.
here in
But
the city
one of
the ones on that train?
provided by our benefactors.
One of the reasons that I decided to come back and play this is because recently I've been getting back into Half-Life, especially now with the recent stories of Half-Life VR that may or may not exist, and just looking at all the concept art and the beta and just all that stuff. And really, it just piqued my interest, and Half-Life 2 truly is one of those games that you can just play the entirety of, forget entirely, and then play it again, and then have fun all over. Or maybe that's just me because I have a terrible memory.
Welcome.
Or it could be both, I don't know.
Welcome to City.
About that beer I owed you. It's me, Gordon, Barney from Black Mesa.
Oh yeah,
Sorry for the scare. I had to put on a show for the cameras.
Barney Blue
I've been working
Shift.
undercover with civil protection. I can't take too long or they'll get suspicious. I'm way behind
Got
on my
Sans
beating
Undertale, Gordon
Yes,
Half-Life,
Barney, what is it?
Gordon
I'm
Borealis.
In the middle of a critical test.
quota. Sorry, Doc, but look who's here.
Great Scott! Gordon Freeman!
Oh my gosh, Gordon
You and me
Freeman!
both, Doc. He was about to board the express to Nova Prospect.
Not Nova
Do
Prospect.
you
Wow.
intend?
I'm thinking.
You can't
I'm
really,
thinking.
you can't
Alex is around
shake
here somewhere.
with a controller,
He would
that's
have a
sad.
better idea how to get in here.
Oh, as long as he stays away from checkpoints, we should be okay. Listen, I gotta go.
As long
now.
as he
We're
stays
taking
away
enough
from
chances today.
checkpoints after coming from a giant checkpoint.
Gordon, good to see you.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Gordon,
good to see you
you're
too.
gonna
Didn't
have to
hear
make your
anything
own
you
way
said,
to
but
Dr.
okay.
Kleiner's lab. Oh man, that's what I was afraid of. Get in here, Gordon, before you blow my cover.
Before I blow your cover, you're gonna blow your own color.
Get through that window.
Color.
Keep going till you're in the plaza. I'll meet up with you later.
Okay, good luck with your color. E, pick up object. Last time I checked, Xbox controllers don't have an E on them. Let's play the game called Which Button Does What. Okay, X does picking up. I know B does reload for some reason. I don't know why. But, so, do you ever notice that they don't really have a plan for you? They're just like, yeah, we'll send to your lab right away. And then they just yeet you into the world. Like, have fun! Have fun picking up cans!
Let me
Ye old can. I can't eat cans because they're not digestible, but I can put it in this trash can. Oh, hold on. I was gonna just shove every can in the garbage can. Like, you want cans? You want cans? I'll give you cans. There's a lot going on. It looks a little laggy to me, but then again, everything does, because eyeballs just be like that. How's it going, man? One of the things that I found really interesting when I was getting back into Half-Life 2 was the beta and just the Citadel and all the concept art of the Citadel and how it was going to look like, or how they originally thought it would look like, and just going through the Half-Life 2 beta stuff in general. And it's really cool to see how this game could have ended up. And honestly, it would have been kind of cool if it did, but I don't think beta stuff really is as exciting as it could be, because that's the thing that makes it exciting. It's beta stuff. That's what makes it exciting, because it's what could have been. Stole some dang chicken wings.
Oh,
Hey, how's it going?
I thought you were a cop.
He's one of us.
Yeah, you couldn't tell that from the outfit I'm wearing?
They'd be coming for us next.
Can I pick it up without? Yeah, okay. Oh. Hey, your TV's broken. There's a setting in...
Can't take it anymore.
Everything's gonna be okay.
What are we going to do?
We'll think of something.
We'll die. There's a setting in the settings, shocker, called mouse acceleration, and I think that's like
It's all right.
when you start moving or looking for long periods of time,
Attention, residents.
and then all of a sudden it's like
Miscounts detected
super
in your
fast.
log. Cooperation with your civil protection.
Oh crap! Heading for the roof. Jump button is A. I knew that. Totally knew that. But yeah, mouse acceleration. Have to fix that later. Ooh, right now we're running away from the Gucci police. Get in here quick! I knew I should have gotten the Gucci. That's what I get for buying Adidas. Well, it's a good thing the cops wait for the loading screen. That's very generous of them. What's the sprint button? There's a sprint button. Where's the sprint button? It's one of these buttons. It's one of these buttons. I'm just hitting every button trying to figure it out. I don't think I have sprint yet. Do I have sprint yet? I don't know. Dang. Oh gee, they're shooting and hitting me. If only there was some sort of mechanism that could allow me to go faster. Oh no, the stairs. Oh no. Oh! Hi. How are you doing? Okay, look.
Over here!
Dang.
Ha, no, you don't.
No, you don't. Gosh dang fashion police. Hey.
Dr. Freeman, I presume.
As far as you know.
I better hurry. The Combine can be slow to wake, but once they're up, you don't want to get in their way.
Slowed awake. Do you mean they can be slowed down when awake?
Dr. Kleiner said you'd be coming this way. I don't think it occurred to him that you might not have a map.
I didn't think it occurred to him that you wouldn't have a map. You know, you almost died and stuff, but whatever.
I'm Alex Vance. My father worked with you back in Black Mesa.
Yeah.
You don't remember me, though.
Black Scientist number 336. I remember him.
Man, a few words, aren't you?
According to you, you can't hear what's outside of the game. To you, it's just a vast
Remember
array of
him from Black
nothingness.
Mesa? Your old administrator.
No, I don't, because he
Okay,
wasn't
my
in
dad
there.
started on Dr. Breen.
Dr. Breen was not in Half-Life 1.
Through
He
here.
never was.
Here, let me buy you a drink.
Diet Gucci. My favorite.
Oh, and by the way, nice to finally meet you.
Thanks, but where's the Diet Gucci? Is it in here? Is this the Diet Gucci?
Where did she get to? Lamar, come out of there.
Uh-oh, everything all right, Dr. Kleiner?
Oh, hello,
Hey,
Alex.
Dr. Kleiner, where's the Diet
almost
Gucci?
all right. Lamar has gotten out of her crate.
It's great. Where's the Diet
If I
Gucci?
didn't know better, I'd suspect Barney of trapping and...
Is it in here? Is this one of the ingredients? How do I make Diet Gucci?
It really is you, isn't it?
I found him
Yeah, it's me.
wandering
Where's
around
the Diet
outside.
Gucci?
Bit of a troublemaker, isn't he?
We owe a great deal to Dr. Freeman.
Where's the
Even
Diet
if trouble
Gucci?
does tend to follow in his wake.
You know what? You know what needs to follow in my wake?
I must
Diet
say,
Gucci.
You come at a very opportune time.
Opportune
Alex has
time.
just
Why'd you get Diet
installed the
Gucci in
final
restock?
piece for our resurrected teleport.
That's great, but where's the...
Nonsense. Your talents.
Okay.
Well, is he here? There
You tell me if I'm here.
Man, Gordon, you stirred up the hive.
The Combine are not a hive. They are a series of
Jeopardize everything we've worked for.
plastic Barbie dolls tied up on a string. There's a zoom button here somewhere.
For real this time? Because I still have nightmares about that cat.
I don't know where it is.
There's nothing to be nervous about.
Jump.
We've made major strides since then.
Crouch.
Stride.
What cat?
Completely harmless.
Can you tell
The
I'm
worst
ready
you
for
might do
this
is
to be
attempt
over with?
Couple with your head fruitlessly.
Get that thing away from me!
Here, my pet. Hop up. No, not up there. No, no.
Oh
Careful,
no,
Lamar.
stop, don't
Those
come
are
back.
quite fragile. Oh, fie. It'll be another week before I can coax her out of there.
Yeah, longer if we're lucky.
You're not an animal person.
Well, Gordon, go ahead.
I wish I had
Get
Pepsi.
into your suit now.
I could really go for a Pepsi right now.
Well,
a lot better
Gordon,
than this
I see
dialogue.
Your HEV suit still fits you like a glove.
How much dialogue do you need? I get it.
I've made a few
You had
modern
fancy
tweaks,
technology.
but I'll just acquaint you with the essentials. Now let's see.
Careful.
The Mark V hazardous environment suit has been redesigned for comfort and utility. Oh dear.
Doc, we don't have time for this.
Oh wow, hey, we're here already, man. Of course. Right at a loading screen. Yeah, so I went ahead and
Hey, Gordon!
went through all the stuff.
The Citadel's on full alert. I've never seen it lit up like that. Get out of City 17
Yeah, you know
as
why
fast
it's lit
as
up
you
like
can,
that? Because he
Gordon.
didn't get
Take
me
the
my
old
my
canals,
Diet
right?
Gucci
They'll
soda.
Get you to Eli's lab. It's a dangerous route, but there's a whole network of refugees, and they'll help you if they can.
Oh, these
I'd
gosh
come
darn
with you, but I gotta
refugees.
look after Dr. Kleiner. Oh, and
Okay.
before I forget, I think you dropped this back in Black Mesa.
Fantastic.
Good luck out there, buddy. You're gonna need it.
Thank you. Okay, now we begin. Now we begin the quest of Now we begin the quest of Gordon Frogman, Gordon Frogman, and his quest to find the Diet Gucci soda. Let's train! I have no idea what goes on. Krusty Krab, get off the ladder! Oh my gosh. How did I only lose? Six health. How did I only lose 6 health? Flashlight. Why? Why? Literally. Pun intended. Why? Why is the flashlight? But why?
They'll be looking for you now. You better run. There's nothing else you can do here.
Aren't I supposed to get a gun? Ah, there it is. Okay, cool. Ooh.
Going!
Be quiet! Ugh. These damn refugees. Freaking they can tell me what to do. Who's wearing the HEV suit in this house? I think it's me. Thank you. Reload. B. I'm gonna have to configure these controls later. The control experience so far is just mildly uncomfortable, but that's just mostly because I haven't played a video game in like 2 months. I did not mean to do that. Where'd it go? Go right there. I forgot to turn off the flashlight. I forgot. What the jump? You never know what you need to know until you need to know it that you don't know it. Okay, so vaccination in progress. Ooh, don't tell people on Facebook that. Let me see if I can That's a spicy paintball. Very spicy. Spicy indeedly! I don't think I'm supposed to be here, but I don't know. Yep, okay, that's right there. Where do I go then? I don't know. Stop shooting at me! I'm just but a boy! I'm just but a boy! I'm just but a boy! I don't love. Where did you come from? Ah, that's these darn pirates. Oh, yeah, right here. Oh my god, it's a train! Ah! One thing I think is cool about... Actually, you know what? And the other thing, the thing I think is my favorite thing about Half-Life 2 is, and that's why Half-Life 2 is one of my favorite games.
Guess those sirens are for you, huh? Good thing you found us. You're not the first to come through the the first thing I do is shoot him. We're just a lookout for the underground rail.
So you got Netflix in there or something? Cause I've been asleep for about 20 years and my subscription has expired. Oh, thanks. I think Gordon Freeman ever thinks about his toes. Like realistically, like I'm pretty sure people are at least like at some point in their life they think about their toes and they're like, oh yeah, I got toes. But realistically, I think Gordon Freeman would think about his toes at least once. You know, because in the grand spectrum of things, really all of us are just people. What? Oh, he got killed by the non-existent person. But anyway, I really think that absent-mindedly remembering your toes is one of the most important aspects of being a human being, honestly, because one of the things you have to keep in mind is that forgetting things and then suddenly remembering them is a big aspect of who we are as people. And really, it's just inevitable to think about everything and everything at some point. And really, at this point, I mean, Gordon Freeman himself is just a person. That's all he is. That's all he's ever been. That's all he ever will be, as far as we know. So it's really not that far of a fetch to think that he would at some point just remember that he has toes. Now, what aspect of his toes would he think about? It's another question entirely in itself. But I think what part of his toes he would think about is a really important factor here, and I think he'd probably just remember, like, oh, I have toes. Like, do you ever really, like, consider you ever really consider certain aspects of your toes, or just think about your toes in general? Because really, there's nothing like specific about your toes to think about, because it's just toes, man. It's just all toes. So realistically, I think at least at one point, he would think, oh yeah, I have toes. Because that's just something that people decide, or they think about every now and then, is the fact that they have toes. And it's not something, it's not like it's like a specific detail thing. It's just sometimes you forget you have toes because you're like too selfish to think about how your toes feel. And you just start feeling bad about yourself because you never truly realize just how supportive your toes are, quite literally. So I think, truthfully, to conclude everything, Gordon Freeman would think about his toes at least once. So I don't think he'd think any specifics, but in general, I know he would think about them at least once. And you can just like consider that with everything else, because really the meaning of life itself is just the meaning of life is just to think about things that you don't usually think about. Like once in a blue moon you think about things, like you remember that you're breathing and now you're currently manually breathing. And sometimes you just remember that you have toes. I keep on getting shot here while I'm trying to talk about toes, which is just extremely disrespectful, but to be quite frank with you, I completely forgot about what I was talking about. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut ahead and continue until I figure out where to go. Okay, so I learned that apparently you're just supposed to look at the things that are right in front of you, and you'll figure out where to go. Who would have thought, huh? Who would have thought? So yeah, as I was saying, the basic aspects of life essentially just revolve around thinking about everyone tries to interrupt me about my dang feet conversations, and I am close to not having any more of it. Life really is just about thinking about the little things, you know? Like sometimes you'll recognize that you have a thermostat, but you'll never really recognize oh, I have a thermostat that controls a lot of aspects of temperature, because thermostats are designed to control the temperature in your house, but you never really think about that. You just think oh, it's a thermostat, but you never really stop to think oh yeah, it controls so much in my house. And really, you start thinking about the Renaissance back in 1916 era, when people didn't have air conditioners. You start thinking dang, this 100-degree weather we got going on these days, it would really suck if we did not have thermostats and air conditioners in general. So it's little things like that. It's little things like that it's the little things like that that just make life worth it, isn't it? Just reminding yourself of how much you have, while also not downplaying the sacrifices of others. Like those people that died at 35 years old from heat stroke. Not that you should feel bad that they died and you haven't. At least you haven't died yet. That was my dinosaur war. They enrolled me in Jurassic World Part 3, and I was practicing. You know, it's times like this that I'm being shot at that reminds me that really, I genuinely think that Coca-Cola and Pepsi are equal. Because in a world that's so divided, it really helps to have something so different yet so similar at the same time, to the point where they can be regarded in the same level of competition. And really, I think the one thing we all need to realize is, like, it's okay to like Pepsi over Coke. Now, granted, I personally think, if I were to be every YouTuber ever, in my personal own opinion, I think that Coca-Cola is better in terms of sweetness factor, because it's a little bit sweeter, and it almost makes you forget that they used to make it with cocaine. But Pepsi's kind of more industrial. See, Pepsi reminds you of your difficult childhood. That's how Pepsi really tastes. Coca-Cola is more about the future ahead and being optimistic about the great things that are going to happen later on in life. So, basically what I'm trying to say here is we should all just treat each other nicely. And team up against the people that think that Fanta is a drink. So far, I think we've been doing okay. I've learned the controls, and at this moment we have 80 health. We got big gun energy of what else do we have? Failure, as you can clearly see. Do I really gotta put all of them in here? I don't really put all of them in here! Okay. Sorry about that. That was... Bottle up the sadness, see how long it can take until it blows up! Oh, crap. No, 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 no. Why is this a wide open space? Oh, how'd you get from there to there in such a short amount of time? That's physically impossible. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. Time for physics don't apply. I know I'm supposed to hide, but I don't have the patience. Oh, thank you. Oh, hey, that reminds me. Couple of days ago, I think it might have been a couple weeks ago. I was job searching, like I was actually like at the mall job searching. But I was in what was it? It was Hilliard's, Bill Hall, whatever, something like that. And there were a lot of mannequins in there, because usually there's mannequins in clothes stores because they have to show off the clothes. But at one point I ran into one of the mannequins, like just accidentally, like I went backwards. And I was just like, oh, whoa, flippity boo bop, and there's the mannequin. And I said, "Excuse me, ma'am," because it was like a mannequin designed to look like a female. So that's when I was like, "Excuse me, ma'am." And that's... And saying thank you to that, what are they called, barnacles? That is what reminded me of that. And you know, you don't have to say thank you or excuse me to objects that don't really have a sense of self-awareness. What? You don't know if they're self-aware, okay? You don't know if they're self-aware. You don't know if I'm self-aware. You don't even know if I'm real. Some of you don't know I'm real. But really, are any of us actually real? What exactly is real? I'll tell you what's real. This video clip, it's really long. So guess what? I'm going to end it right here.